On the outside, everybody thinks that I have everything together. And I'm perfect. I know everything. But on the inside, struggling. It's very difficult for me. Everyone leans on me to be strong. But who is strong for me? I always have to be Superman. Never Clark Kent. And I give. If I had $5 and someone, I would give it to them. Because I can. And sometimes I feel like people want to do that for me. You know who people don't call to check in on? Me. But I'm always checking in on everybody else. Does this sound familiar?
Yeah. You get me? You think that's just, it's not, I'm sorry to burst your bubble, you're not special. Welcome to the world of everybody else. You get me? But we walk around thinking ours is ours. So we hold on to it. So we have socially acceptable excuses for sucking at life. Because what if you gave those up? Then if you failed, it would be your fault. And that's scary. Yes, Beth?
What's considered failure?
Tell me.
I don't know.
I tell you, it's a very good point.
People enjoy nature and they wouldn't even care about finances.
100%. This is my definition of success, and this is my definition of failure, personally. My definition of success is when I see someone achieve something I would like to achieve, what they achieved is success. When I see someone and I feel really sympathetic and bad about their failure, that's my failure. Because I am you and you are me. If you need help, just look at other people's lives and you'll see it. I'm going to make your life super simple, and I wish more people did this, but you didn't get it. But y'all showed up the Hostos Leadership Academy. Jason Littfeld is one of the best. This is why you're going to get this. Right? People try to say, I don't know what I want to do. It's simple to figure it out. But nobody's talking about this. Make a list of 5 people you really admire. Make a list of 5 people you really admire, and then ask yourself, what is it that they all have in common? That's the thing you're supposed to do. But people don't do that. What is it that they do consistently? Make a list of 5 people in your life. You don't even have to know them. It could be like Michelle Obama, or it could be, Avril Lavigne. I don't care who it is, right? But like 5 people, that's it. Maybe 10 at most. And then all you got to do is sit down and say, what is it that these people have in common? What is it that they do? Why do I admire them? And then you go, oh, they do this. Oh, they do that. Oh, they do this. Oh! Here's how I did it. Someone told me this, and I was lucky to, look, I'm fortunate, I'm blessed. I don't want anyone to think that I did this on my own. I believe in God, believe whatever you want to believe in. God helps me get through my tough times. I believe I'm very blessed by God because someone told me a lot of these things when I was young. I started this game when I was like 19. So I was just ahead of other people who don't really start until they're 30, 40. You know what I'm saying? That's the only difference I have time, right? So I go, who are the 5 people I think were successful, right? And I write them down, and then I go, oh, they all own their own business. I want to be an entrepreneur. Now, mind you, it's a much longer process. But now at least I know what direction. Because if you're going south and you need to be going north, it don't matter how fast you're going south, you're still in the wrong direction. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right? So if I know I want to be an entrepreneur, I got to do an MBA program. So I was like, well, why do I want to do that? You don't need that. So I didn't get in. I didn't do it. I also didn't, I had to give it a higher GMAT score too. I got into the program with GMAT score, crushed it, right? But I didn't try to take it again because I'm like, GMAT's good if you're trying to run the corporate ladder. I don't want to run the corporate ladder. I want to own my own business. Like, I am unemployable. I don't know how people keep jobs. Like, for any of you who can keep a job, I am blown away. It's like, if I had to show up to the same place every day at the same time, like, I would suck at that. I suck at that. I suck at that. I suck at it. Ask Jason. He never knows when I'm going to show up. I'm like, I'll be here before I'm supposed to speak. Whatever time that is, I'm not sure yet. But I will be there before. It could be an hour, it could be 15 minutes. And it's not because I wanted to do that. It's just like I suck at that. Currently.
Your time management.
I'm horrible at it.
You need to work on your time
I
management.
do. I agree.
No, you're not working hard enough.
I'm not.
Every time I'm on effort.
I agree. and I'll tell you this too, and this is true for you and for all. So whatever you suck at, the thing is, what you're really good at makes people forget the fact that you suck at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I'm not good at time, right? But what I also know is, like, I care so much about all of you that I want to give a message that when you're done, my hope is that for literally the entirety of the rest of your life, you'll think about, like, this moment. You know, I don't want to shout you out, you know. She took a day off of work to come hear me speak, but she's heard me speak years before. I mean, I spoke to your first group like 10 years ago, maybe? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't take that lightly, the fact that you took off, I don't take that lightly. That these folks took a day off of their work to come back and they see me speak already. So, like, people don't talk about this, but like, all right, so now, yeah, so, no one talks about this. I don't even get this one. If you can do this, whenever you're bad, I know this sounds bad. Just bear with me, okay? You will always suck at something. No matter how hard you try to get good at it, you're gonna suck at it. Do you know how to deal with that? Now, what most people think is, I need to get better at it. And hopefully you will. I'm not a fortune predictor, but you won't. But there's a way to deal with it. It's real simple. It's this word. If you become an expert in something, if you get expertise in something, the stuff you suck at, people will let it go. You ever seen the TV show House? He's a horrible human, like person to person. Or if you haven't seen the show, he's a detective, he's really crass, he's really mean, but he's the best at what he does. And here's the thing, and I'm saying this just because I love you. I hope I don't offend anyone when I say it. Some of y'all are trying to do mediocre work, and you want people to treat you like you're an expert. If you want to get really successful, so I talked about that confidence around people. The way that you build that confidence around people is you become an expert in something. I don't care what it is. Here's what I mean by that. When I walk into a room, I used to be really intimidated by people who make more money. That's my thing. I know it's my thing. Everyone's got a thing. It's my thing. But then, and I constantly kept being exposed to these people who were more successful than me, and I kept feeling like I don't belong to be in the same room as them. But then I realized I'm probably a better public speaker than them, or I can help them become a better public speaker. You see both sides of that? I have the only reason why I have that is because I've done this over 1,100 times. I've given over 1,100 presentations in different various forms over 13 years. It's not that I have a gift, it's just I just work really hard at this particular craft, right? If you are the best graphic designer, the best, people will be like, look, she don't always return my calls, but when she does, my goodness. You got someone like that in your life, don't you?
Yeah.
When you're an expert at something, the things you're not good at don't matter as much. So you have more confidence. Because also, if someone ever tries to make you feel bad, like if someone ever, there's 1,000 things you can make me feel bad about myself. There's 1,000 things I'm not good at. But I know, if I get up in front of a room, I'm comfortable. That's it. And I know the majority of humans are not. Doesn't mean they can't be. Like, in that, you can be like, oh, but around, you late. Oh, but around, you don't have this much money. But around, you, whatever, right? Just throw it at me, right? Your hairline is receding like a horrible receding hairline. I can't even think of a good dish for myself, but I do have a very bad receding hairline, right? All that's true. And what happens is, that's the thing you won't focus on. That's the thing. That's where you spend 99% of your mind space. I have to constantly train my brain not to focus on those things I'm not good at. I am tougher on myself than any other human could ever be. Understand? You get that? Who's your own worst? Raise your hand if you can say, there's no one tougher on myself than me. Who can agree? Look around the room, don't look at me. Ain't nobody gonna be tougher on you than you. You get that? You gotta condition your brain not to focus on what you suck at. Yes?
Then again, I really see how you say you condition your brain. You can also condition your brain to the fact that I suck at this, but it bothers me enough to change it that I suck on this. You know, like.
Yeah, and typically you have to get to rock bottom before you go make a change.
Right.
Typically. Not in most cases. And I would love, people come up here and say, you know what? If you want something to be better for yourself, you focus on it, you can make it better. If that was true, you would have done it by now. Some of you got to hit rock bottom. I'm sorry to say it. But, sometimes you got to hit rock bottom just because there's no other way to go. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you don't. But I'm willing to, if I had to put money, whatever is the thing you've sucked at for the last 5 years, I would bet money for the next 5 years you'll suck at it too. And it's not to be disrespectful to you. I want you to get, because that's not the thing you're supposed to be best in the world at. No matter how hard I try, I can become a decent graphic designer. I can become an okay graphic. I will never become best in the world at it simply because I'm not passionate about it. I don't have a natural proficiency to it. You want to find out what you're supposed to do in the world, what you should be at? Do you want to know what you should be an expert at? I have to know the answer to that. All right. I'm really excited. I've never shared this before. I'm really excited about it. We'll go over here. Okay. I'll go over here. Okay, ready? This is what you should become an expert at, and if you become an expert at, all the things you suck at won't matter as much. You can be more confident around other people because you know you got it. Step one. Yes. You can't read my horrible handwriting. What you naturally love to do. What you are actually good at. So what you naturally love to do. What are you naturally good at? All right, here we go. What you naturally love to do, what you are actually good at, what solves a problem for others. Whatever is in the center of all that, that's what you should be doing, become an expert at. What is that for you? I don't know.
Thank you.
I'm not you. I spend 24/7 in my head. You spend 24/7 in your head. Get obsessed about that Venn diagram. Get obsessed about it. I think about it to this day. I think about that to this day. And the thing I'm good at today may not be the thing I'm good at tomorrow. But if you can get clear, when I say what you're naturally good at, what is the thing I don't have to force you to do? Who plays an instrument? Do I have to force you to practice, or will you practice on your own because you love it? I will never be a better musician than her. I played the piano growing up. My parent forced me to practice on the keyboard. Forced me. I did not want to do it. Her? What do you play? Piano, perfect, right? Her? She probably goes, I'm stressed out. Let me go. Right? That's what she naturally loves to do. There's no effort in pushing her to do that, right? Now, the other thing is what are you actually good at? Because naturally, you do not have to push me to play basketball. I love basketball. I love basketball. I look it up. I look up trades. I love playing it. I am not good at it. I'm not. I'm not. There's a percentage of you in this room right now that crossed me up and put me on my booty, right? But I love the game so much. I'll get embarrassed now. Not when I was younger, by the way. I didn't play when I was younger because I was afraid to get embarrassed. I wish I would have known this now then. Doesn't matter. I still play. I still love the sport. I'm not going to the NBA, like it's very clear, right? It's not going to happen. But I'm not trying to get. I love it. So I naturally love to do basketball, but I am not actually good at it. Yes.
So why do you love something and it actually shows that you do, but you are not good at it?
It's just a hobby. Just a hobby. There's nothing wrong with having hobbies. Don't think you can't have a hobby. If you like knitting, knit. It doesn't matter if you suck at it, just knit. Some of you go on Pinterest and be like, I'm gonna bake those cookies. Those are nice looking cookies right there. Bake them. Doesn't mean you're gonna open a bakery. Yes. So then do it. That's just not the thing you're supposed to be an expert at. That's all. Just have fun. Have fun. And here's the great thing about it too. When your identity doesn't become, I have to become the expert dancer, you have more fun dancing. Because you know, like, okay, that guy, because tell me if this is not true. You're good at something, and then you see someone who's about the same age as you, who's better at it than you, don't you get a little jealous? Be honest.
Yeah.
Be honest. Come on. Come on. Oh, yeah, so altruistic. Not me. I support my fellow brother and sister. I oppose them. No. You get a little. How come they better than? Yo, when I see someone who does what I do and I know they're better than me at it, and there's a bunch of people who do what I do and are better and more successful than me, I get jealous at first, and then I have to override it to become happy for them. I have to override it, but my first response is jealousy. I'm not better than that. Good question. Sure, right? So look, if you're naturally good at something, but you really think, yo, just have a hobby. But when you can find a thing you're naturally good at, you naturally love to do, are actually good at it, and this is the key that I think most people forget, it solves a problem for other people. That's all expertise is, by the way. You solve problems for other people really well. That's it. If you have a mechanic that will actually fix your car and not charge you a lot of money, ain't you telling everybody about him or her? No, I got a guy. Don't take your car anywhere else. I got the best. But if you ever have a car problem and you take it to a dealer and for some reason you just keep having car problems, you're like, my car can't be that bad. It's because they're either not good or they're like scummy. I found when you're actually really good at what you do, and you actually solve problems for people, and you lead with that, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Now some of you like to sing. You're just not that good at it. So sing as a hobby. You know what I'm saying? But some of you are actually pretty good at it. And maybe you should go all into it. But you haven't. You're scared of what other people are going to say about you. Too lax. Question?
Do you believe failure and success are all about state of mind?
Is failure and success all about a state of mind? Yeah. Yeah. Very well said. Very well said.
Can you give some details?
Sure. Who's ever dated someone they thought they could never live without? And then you broke up with them. Anyone ever have to have that?
And then you what?
Okay, so you dated someone you thought you couldn't live without at one point, and then you broke up with them. Who's been through that? Yeah. Okay. Look at you. You still living. Look at you over there. You still breathing. You see her over there? Still alive? Yo, and I want you to get this though. I want you to get this though. Right? This is big. You look like you're breathing to me. You look totally alive, right? So, did she actually fail? She did. Yo, I would never live without this. Look, if you've never been like that, you're lying, okay? You've been like that maybe for someone you wasn't even in a relationship with, okay? So some of y'all are worse. Why doesn't she call me? She doesn't know you exist, that's why. She doesn't know you, you know what I'm saying? My point is, there's this thing you go, I would never live without. I'm a failure because I can't live without him, but look at you living.
Yeah.
So did you fail? Yeah, at a point you were probably in like the worst possible place in the world. I've been there, I know what that feeling feels like. Like, there's no, songs don't have the same sound. Food doesn't taste as good as it once did. You listen to songs on the radio and you go, I understand this song. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I get it. It sucks. It doesn't, I'm not trying to take, like, anxiety, pain, depression. I'm not taking away from the fact that it sucks. I just want you to know we all go through it. So don't try to own it like it's your thing. You know what I'm saying? People, I don't get why people try to get into the Olympics, the pity Olympics. No, my heartbreak was unlike any, no, it was like every other person. Just get that. And if you get that, you can be released of it. You can be released of it. You think it's special. I have my heart broken. Like part where it's like every day I'll think, what could have been? You know who else has that? Everybody. So it's not that my pain is not my pain. Said a different way. If you go to, God forbid, you go to the hospital because you have a broken arm, are you in pain? Yes. You go to the hospital because, God forbid, you got shot in your stomach. Are you in pain? Yes. Just because she's in more pain than you, does that take away from your pain? No, if you have a broken arm, you're in pain. You don't care about anyone else. You need to get this fixed. You're still in pain, but just know you don't own that. It's not your, like, crown jewel. But that's what people do. I used to work, when I was younger, I used to work at a chiropractor's office. This blew my mind. People would come in and try to talk about how worse their back pain was to other people. Oh, I couldn't even get up out of bed this morning. It was horrible. My back had locked up, right? And I'm like, why are you doing that? Because there's another person who comes in and their whole mindset is, I need to get this fixed because I got to live like that. I gotta get over this. So, oh, I gotta get disability now because I'll never get better. Someone with I know has a worse condition is like, how do I get better? Because I got so much I gotta do. Because that person who's like, I got hit by a car, my back's better. That's a socially acceptable excuse. You got hit by a car. Of course you can't do anything. Of course you, because it's socially, everyone goes, oh, okay, you can. And there's someone else with a worse condition busting their butt to get better and then they get fined. You've seen this. I'm not making this up, am I? No. This is what I'm saying. When you get clear on the lack of your clarity of goals, because that person, when they get injured, they don't have clarity of goals. They now have an excuse to no longer try, so they take it. So they jump at the opportunity to take that socially acceptable reason. But if you give that up, what's left? You. And then it's all on your shoulders. You graduating from here, that's on your shoulders. Don't ever make it about your kid. Don't ever make it about your husband or your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, or your child. It's on you. You alone. Period. Period. Don't. Like, if I come back here and I see any of y'all be like, oh, really? The only reason why I didn't do that is because, I had this, I had this tooth that it was horrible. So what? There's some of you in this room. I don't know this. I'm willing to bet there's someone in this room who had cancer and beat it. I'm willing to bet. Cancer. Someone in this room probably had cancer and beat it. Someone in this room probably was in a civil war in your own country. And you had no idea if you would live and you beat it. Yes. There's some of you in this room that probably have been raped and you beat it. There's some of you in this room that have been emotionally abused by somebody that you love and you beat it. So whatever you're trying to argue with me about why you can't do something, I don't buy it. I'm not buying what you're selling. I'm just not. Whatever's the reason you think you can't do something, whatever's the reason you're saying no, but here's why it's different, I don't buy it. I just don't buy it. Because I know there is someone else in this room who went through way worse than you. And they're not dealing with what you're dealing with, and this is the key. This is the other thing, okay. Coming back around to my original intentions here. Okay. If one person, I kid you not, just one person has had it the worse than you or similar as you and did well, you have zero excuse. That's why it's so important to find role models. That's why it's so important to find mentors. That's why it's so important to read biographies. You don't have to meet someone. You could read Michael Jordan's biography and not know Michael Jordan. Just know they went through something harder than you and they got through it. So now, what's your excuse? Your excuse is, I don't have clear, like, well, okay, Orel, once I know what I'm supposed to do, I'll do it. I hear this a lot too. I don't know what I want to do. So once I know what I'm going to do, I'm going to do it. But until then, Fortnite is calling. Oh, wow. Some of y'all don't know what Fortnite is, a video game, right? Here's my thing. Yo, this is the greatest way. I wish more people understood this. You know how you figure out what you're supposed to do? Besides that right there? You just fail at a bunch of stuff. That's it. I said that too simplistic that you think it's like the most amazing thing I've ever heard. Yo, just fail at a bunch of stuff. Say it a different way. Again, see, some of these examples make me feel uncomfortable to share, but I'm gonna share them. This is the Bronx, right? There's a street corner somewhere not too far from here. There's a dude on it hollering at every single girl that walks by. I'm sure it's not too far from here. Do you know what eventually is gonna happen?
You gonna get the right girl?
Yep.
But that's effort. I think it will all go back to the effort.
Right.
Effort should be like,
Right.
because before you clarify anything in your brain, you have to have the effort. The effort will include the passion.
Right, but this is my point. This is my point. There's a dude on the corner right now. Hey, mommy with the blue pants. Whatever they say now.
Hey, mama.
I don't know. I've been married for a long time. I don't know this world. Right? Shoot him with the blue pants. F you then, you ugly. You know, I don't know what happened. Right? I don't know why they do that again.
It's like, you know,
It's not
but
rejection,
it's
man.
strange, 'cause, you know, you was trying to holler at her.
Right, you was just trying to holler now I'm ugly. Right? But here's my point. But then you find, like, and I'm not saying any of you individually, I just want you to get this thing. You in this room finally build up the courage to ask that person out, and they say no, and then you go, I'm never supposed to have love. And there's a dude on the corner. You get what I'm saying? You finally build up the courage to talk to that person, and they shut you down, so you go, I'm not supposed to have love. And there's a dude on the corner, hey mommy, no, hey mommy, no, hey mommy, no, hey mommy, no. And you know what happens? He eventually gets what he wants.
Do you think it's because people fear rejection?
Yes!
Yeah.
It's the fear of being unconfident around people. That's it. That's what rejection is. That dude on the corner doesn't have that fear in that world.
So the formula is not to fear, it's just to jump in, and no matter what it is, jump in.
That's why you're my best friend. That's why you just do. Yo, I kid you not. All right, you got a community service for Leadership Academy. Show up to it. There's going to be a community service at some point. Show up to it. That's it. You say, well, what's the big deal about that? Because most people won't. You get it? So if you're doing that, you are having clarity toward your goals because you know, here's how it works, right? This is the thing that drives me nuts about people. Whether you want to work a job or own your own business, this drives me nuts about humans. And I don't understand why humans think like this, what they do. Because I understand people because I'm so fascinated about people. People say stupid things like this. Well, when they pay me more money, I'll work harder. It's stupid. It's absolutely stupid. I don't know where this came from. They don't, it's not in my job description.
Wow.
So,
Well, it's not my favorite.
here's how it works, right? I'm not guaranteeing this how it works, but it's pretty close to guarantee. Let's imagine I'm Jason. So imagine I'm much better looking and have a head of hair, okay? So I'm Jason, and I have much better suits than I actually own, right? So I'm Jason, right? And let's say someone comes up to me and says, Jason, I got this opportunity to send someone on a 3-month, fully paid for cruise around the world, and they get to intern with Obama, whoever, right? Big deal. Do you have anyone that you could nominate that you think would be a good fit? Who's he nominated? A person who's never showed up to anything, but they have good intentions? Or the person who shows up for every event, shows up early, says, hey, I know you guys got to set up food. Do you need anyone to help set up food? I got you. Because that person is constantly prepared for an opportunity. For any of you who are like, I don't have opportunity, again, I'm saying this because you have family, I love you. For any of you who are like, no one's giving me opportunity, no one's giving me a shot, it's because you're not putting yourself in a position to get a shot. I promise you you're not. 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 But you probably have a lot of socially acceptable reasons why you can't. Well, you know I got kids. Oh yeah, you know those kids. You know. Super difficult. I got 2 jobs. Yeah, I'm not so many hours in a week. if you just give that up, if you just give it up and find a way. My friend, I went to college with, I was so blown away by this. She was 16, she had her kid, she went to college, same age as me, right? She was in college with her kid, showing up to student meetings. She was we part of a group called BAMS, Binghamton Association of Mixed Students. I'm mixed, right? Her kid was mixed too, is mixed. She would come to meetings with her like little 2-3-year-old in tow. She didn't let anything stop her. Now she's a college admissions officer and her son's a senior in high school. Right? So there's another person who goes, well, I have a kid, can't do the college thing. Be like, I'll go look at Rose Hill. I'd love to point people to my friend Rose. I was like, look, trust me, it wasn't easy. Trust me, it wasn't easy. She did it. So if you give up socially acceptable excuses, and it's tough because let me tell you something, whatever is your socially acceptable excuse, you go, it's different. You say mine is different, I get it. Everyone does, and it's not. I'm not saying this to be disrespectful. Yes, that's right.
What's your opinion on prioritizing certain things in life? For example, like
Yeah.
being a mother. I know, but what would you do?
I would say find where you can blend. A lot of people say, oh, I can't bring my kids. Why not? Or people say, oh, it's too expensive. Is it? Right now, if I said, hey guys, I got this, and I don't, but if I say, hey guys, I got this really great course for $300, it'll change your life. If I had $300, I'd get it. Your refrigerator blows and you need to get a new fridge. Somehow you find $300. Set a different way. Priorities. Set a different way. Who do you love? Name someone you love. Your daughter, house? Okay. Bear with me, I'm saying this from a place of love. Okay? What's something you really want to achieve?
What's something else you
Imagine, and again, totally normal. That goes into the lack of clarity.
No, it's just that, achieve, like the terminology, achieve, goals, things like that, it's just like, it
Just something you want to do.
It's broad.
Just tell me what you want. Tell me something you want to do. I don't care what it is.
Graduate from
Perfect. Perfect. All right? Taliban show up with a gun to your daughter's head. If you don't graduate, I'll pull the trigger. That's how it works. That's it. Anything stop you from graduating? Of course.
No.
I don't think so.
What did you say?
Would anything stop you from
What
graduating?
did you say? Taliban?
The Taliban comes with a machine gun and puts it to your daughter's head and says, check this out. If you don't graduate in 4 years, or 2 years, or 3 years, whatever, I'm pulling the trigger. She's dead. What's going to get in the way? What's going to get in the way if you graduated? Assuming that was real. It's not real. When you play with that sense of urgency, you can do anything. I don't believe anyone's excuse. Because if I gave you urgency, you do it. Who escaped a war-torn country here?
What?
War-torn country. When you had to get out, you got out. You got out. That's it. Like, let me tell you something. Do you mind if I ask which country? You don't have to say if you don't know. What was the country? Yemen? Okay, right? Whenever I don't want to call it a gift because it's not a gift. But here's what I do want to call it. Whenever you start saying, I can't raise my hand, or if you start saying, I can't apply for this, you got out of Yemen. What can't you do? If you could do that, it ain't that. You get me? It's not that. You get me? So tell me something you can't do now. Go ahead. Tell me something you can't do. And I'm not saying this to diminish anything you just said. You all have something that is like that. It may not be as extreme as that, but you all got something. I'm like, yo, you did this. What can't you do? I can't do it. I want you to get presents. We have vegan food with cookies. I need you to get present to this right now. There is vegan food and cookies. She survived a war. Don't tell me you can't do anything. You get me? Don't ever, look at her face. Don't ever let me come back here. What's your name? Kanaya? Don't ever let me come back here, Kanaya, and find out you can't do something. Don't ever, because you did that. You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing about humanity. This is what's super fascinating about how the human condition is. We are conditioned to forget. I'll prove it to you. Now, some of you this will be applicable for, some of you this won't. But for those of you it will be applicable for, you get how you are conditioned to forget. Who here has ever drunken so much that they have uttered the words, I'm never going to drink like this again. I'm never going to do this again. No, bring it around me. I don't even want to smell it. Right? And then once that pain passes, and once you stabilize, next week, you go, well, I'm not going to drink that much. Pace mine. I didn't eat a sandwich before. That was, you see what I'm saying? Yeah.
So it's like we don't really learn our lesson even though we're conditioned.
No, we're conditioned to forget. We don't learn our lesson. We're conditioned to forget. I don't know. Probably. But if you imagine if you didn't though.
I think that's the real spirit.
Do you know what day you is there a specific day when you got out? Yeah, man. What day? May 22nd. What do you do every year on May 22nd? Is there like a tradition or something like that? I encourage you to. It is. It is. Look, I don't know what it's like. I don't, but here's what